all of you beautiful people, and welcome into today's episode of the Top Cut Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast. I want to give some special thanks. So, as many of you know, last episode started Season 4 of the podcast.
Woo!
And I didn't say anything last time because I forgot.
Yeah.
But with the start of Season 4, we have some very, very cool things to discuss. With that is what I'm sure you've noticed is we overhauled everything. We have a different look. We have different profile pictures on Twitter. We have different album art on Spotify and Apple and whatever website you're listening to us from. Speaking of, if you're listening to us from a site that we don't talk about a lot, like Google Podcasts or Podbean or something like that, let us know because we want to know all the different places that people listen to us.
Oh, yeah. We also have a new intro music, as y'all just heard last episode and the beginning of this one.
Exactly. We have an awesome new intro. So, without further ado, a huge thank you goes out to the artist that made that art. She goes by Abyss on pretty much all platforms as far as I can tell.
Yeah, Twitter, etc.
Right? You can find her. She's in our Discord server as well as on our she's on Twitter. We interact on Twitter a lot. That's actually where we found her. And of course, a huge thank you to Skyhawk for the awesome new intro that he has made for us. He put a ton of really great energy into it, a lot of effort, and I really couldn't be more thankful for the love that we've gotten from the community in response to that new intro and the art. Everybody has been so positive. And just thank everybody. Thank all of you so much. And thank you to all of our new listeners. Because holy guacamole, our numbers have gotten insane here lately.
Oh, yeah. No. I never thought we'd get anywhere close to this.
Yeah, just full disclosure. Because, like, YouTube, everybody's numbers are, like, really visible. But on Spotify and iTunes and stuff, our view numbers and listen numbers are not publicly visible at all. And that's not something we can change. That's just how it's set up.
Yeah.
So I don't mind being like really public with this because everybody else is by default. But our numbers, we just crossed the 30,000 total plays mark, which is pretty big. Considering we've been doing this now for 9 months.
Give or take, almost a year.
Yeah. In the last week, we've picked up 2,000 plays. Just in the last week. We've also picked up like 50-ish followers on basically every platform, which is like, yes, I get it. It's like not a ton.
For us, it is.
But for us, it is. So thank you, everybody, so much for your support, the love, the outreach. I mean, from the little things, like when somebody makes a post asking about podcast recommendations, it's just like we get tagged on Twitter, which we love, by the way. Don't stop doing that. We love that.
Gives me the butterflies in my tummy.
Yeah. So just thank you all so much for the love. And with that love and with that thanks comes, of course, our patrons. Now, I do a quick little readout at the beginning of every episode, and I thank all of our patrons, but I really cannot express enough how thankful I am to you, the patrons, for all that you do for us. So, what a lot of people don't realize is where our patron money goes and what we use it for. So, it changes month to month. And as of right now, we don't make a ton off of our Patreon. I'll be honest. We make around $100 a month off of our Patreon.
Yeah, which is enough to keep us using Acast because that's not free to use.
Yeah, so Acast is the service that allows us to post our podcast to one place, and it allows us to push it out everywhere. So that's how we upload to Spotify and iTunes and Google Podcasts and all these other platforms.
All at the same time.
All at the same time, right. So we have to pay monthly for that. And we could do it for free through Anchor, but we felt that Acast had a little bit better integration and a little bit better different features that we felt were better.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why we used Acast. That's why we moved to Acast, which we couldn't have done without patron support. So we pay monthly for Acast. And like, for example, we put a lot of this money from the Patreon into the new art. Some of this patron money will go towards getting the playmats actually made and printed. So this money is going directly into the podcast, and it's going directly to stuff for the podcast. For example, I know that there's a plan to let it build up for a couple of months and hopefully get some new microphones.
Oh yeah, maybe some nice Blue Yetis or something.
Yeah, so, or even so like a Shure microphone.
Oh my lord, just something nice.
Yeah. So, because the microphones we're using right now are literally $25,
and that includes the microphone
and the stand,
and like the
shock mount,
the wiring that came with it. Some of the wiring we had to buy new wires because it was like
no, it didn't come with wires.
I thought it did,
but it came with 3.5 millimeter to XLR.
Yeah, they're like what, a foot long?
No, we needed XLR to XLR was the issue.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
then short.
Yeah, regardless, it was just we're like $30 in for the microphone with cables, stands, everything. So like to be able to get like high-end microphones would be really great. Because I mean, hey, we don't get this rich, velvety sound on accident. You know, there's a lot of work that goes into this.
Oh, yeah, a lot of work on the back end.
Yeah, so we just think that new microphones would help out with stuff like that. But that's where all of this budget goes into. So, honestly, to the patrons, thank you so much. And if you are interested, and I know I say this a lot, and I don't want to be pushy. I don't want anybody to ever feel like this is all we care about, because we don't. At this point, we have our Patreon to further the podcast because we don't get like YouTube ad revenue and things like that, really. So this is really like our only form of ad revenue, is basically just donations. So a huge thank you to all of our patrons, who are Austin Johnson, Kane Martin, Master of Isa, Mr. Herbies, Scuzz Daddy, Witchcrafter Main 2022, AD, Aaron Gardner, Anthony Lila, Damian Zink, Dank Nugs, Dino DNA, Mountain Man, Myth Oceanus, Owen Alvarado, Pig, Rudolph, Sneaky Lynx, Jeremy Drysdale, Ray Powell, and Sunny Sweet. Seriously, thank you all so much for the continued support. I know we're a long way into this without actually talking about anything, but this is not like our most jam-packed episode ever. And I wanted to take a moment to really thank everybody that's making this happen. And that goes for everybody that has followed us on Twitter. We're over 400 followers on Twitter. Our goal is 1,500 by the end of the year. Thank you for everybody that's listening and recommending to your friends. We're over 30,000 plays. Our goal was 100,000 by the end of the year. These were goals that when we picked them were considered like, we thought they were really, really aggressive goals. And we're already like a measurable percentage of the way there on both of them.
Oh, yeah.
So to be moving and progressing like we are is crazy for us. So thank you for everybody on Twitter. Thank you for everybody that's joined the Discord and contributed to the conversation. Our Discord has almost 200 people in it now. Crazy. In like 4 months of existing.
Yeah.
Crazy. So thank you. Thank you to everybody that's rated and reviewed us on Apple Podcasts. Speaking of, we have a new review from Matt E's Epic from Sweden. Best Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast, 5 stars. Greetings from Sweden. Awesome podcast to listen to. Very informative and enjoyable. Hoping for this podcast to run for many years since Sunny and Caleb are doing a perfect job with it so far. Thank you so much.
Love to hear it.
Hearing reviews like that they really get to me, in a good way, the best way. And I know that I don't I'm not eloquent always in the way that I express things and the way that I say things. So to hear people say that the way that we present things and the way that we say things is good for them is just it's great. It's great. So thank you all so much to you, the listeners. We're here in season 4, and we're going on. We're trucking on. So
oh yeah,
thank you.
All right, so let's get into the actual episode now.
Yes. So we do have a little bit of quick play news.
All right, just real quick. The next series of Lost Arts have been officially announced. They are Chocolate Magician Girl, Lumina Lightsworn Summoner, Lumina Twilight Sworn Shaman, Don Zalug, so we'll have his gun finally, and Nurse Dragon Maid.
Like, I'm with it.
Yeah, not gonna lie, I can barely tell the difference between the 2 Nurse Dragon Maids.
It's very slight.
Yeah, but with Chocolate Magician Girl and the 2 Luminas, it's pretty noticeable as far as the costuming. With Don Zalug, they just finally give him his gun back.
Yeah.
So he can stop having that weird grip on his sword.
Yeah.
Where you can tell he's got his trigger finger itching. Ooh. So that's cool.
Yeah, and we also got some new cards to talk about.
Oh yeah. Let's see. You want me to start, or do you want to start?
You can start.
Okay, cool. So to start with, we have Barontopia, a new field spell. First line of text. This card is always treated as a Baryons card. Very important. It can be searched. 1. Your opponent cannot target Chaos Exceeds monsters, Number C monsters, and number monsters with a number between 101 and 107 in the names you control with card effects. Also, they cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects.
Live while we're recording, we got a new archetype.
Oh, cool. We'll
do that at the end.
Yes. So cool. So it makes all your 101 to 107 nearly indestructible. Nearly. 2. Once per turn, if you special summon an Exceeds monster with a rank up magic spell's effect, target that Exceed monster, one monster your opponent controls, attach that opponent's monster to your Exceeds monster as material. So you get to yoink something if you use a rank up magic spell. That's neat.
Yeah, definitely.
It's neat.
It being a field spell card is always interesting.
Oh yeah. It just immediately means you can run 4 copies in the deck.
Basically, yeah.
3 copies of it in terraforming.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be an interesting, quirky card. Next, we have the Supreme King Dragon's Soul, or the TCG's name will probably be the Supreme King's Soul. It is a normal trap card. 2 effects. 1. Pay half your life points. Special summon 1 Supreme King Z-Arc from your extra deck, ignoring its summoning conditions, but its effects are negated. Also return it to the extra deck during the end phase of the next turn. 2. When your opponent activates a spell card or effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard and 1 Supreme King Z-Arc you control. Special summon up to 4 monsters from your hand, deck, extra deck, and or graveyard, 1 each with Pendulum Dragon, Exceeds Dragon, Synchro Dragon, and or Fusion Dragon in the names.
So, keep in mind, this would let you summon out like a Crystal Wing Dragon, Starving Venomy Dragon, Fusion Dragon, Arc Rebellion, Exceeds Dragon.
Yeah.
It lets you just pump out 4 different versions of negates.
And this is not once per turn at all.
Nope. But you are limited by how many copies. Your limiting factor on this is how many copies of the card you have in your graveyard and how many copies of Supreme King Z-Arc you have on the field.
Yes.
But that's why it special summons 1 for you. It facilitates its own effect, which is pretty neat.
Okay, so, pop quiz.
Mm-hmm.
Can you name me any one monster of each, the Pendulum Dragon, Exceeds Dragon, Synchro Dragon, and Fusion Dragon?
Yes.
Do it. Go.
Okay. So for Pendulum, you have the classic Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon.
Yep.
Let's see. For Exceeds Dragon, you have Dark Rebellion Exceeds Dragon.
Yep, that works.
For let's see. Next up would be Synchro, Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon.
Yep.
Finally, for Fusion, you have Starving Venom Fusion Dragon.
Yep, that works. Yep, you got them.
Those are the 4 baseline forms.
Yep, that was what I would thought of too, actually, for each of those.
Yeah, but then you can also pump out their upgraded forms, which some of them have Omni Negates on them.
Right, yeah.
Which is what you're actually going to be popping out with this. It's kind of silly and ridiculous.
It is kind of over the top.
Yeah.
All right, what do we have next?
Next up is a normal spell card called Angel with Blue Tears. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name per turn, and only once that turn. 1. Target one face-up monster on the field. Its controller's opponent takes 200 damage for each card in their hand, then negate that monster's effect until the end of this turn. So activate, target one of your opponent's card, you take 200 damage for each card in your hand, and that card's negated.
Yes.
Cool. 2. If either player takes effect damage, you can banish this card from the graveyard, set a normal trap card from your hand or deck, and if you set it from the hand, it can be activated this turn.
Interesting. This is really interesting.
Oh, yeah. Particularly in, I forgot the name of the archetype that it's supposed to be used with, but that archetype does a lot of burn damage. So you can activate this, burn yourself for a little bit, blanket something.
Trickstar?
Trickstar, thank you.
Okay.
Activate Trickstar effect. Your opponent takes like 200 damage. Activate effect to set a trap from your deck. Past turn, the trap is live. Just whatever normal trap card you want.
Yes.
From the terrible, like, Blast with Chains.
Well, here's the thing. You can only use one of these effects per turn.
Yes, exactly. So you'd have to wait like a full turn cycle.
No, you don't. Because, okay, so not a full cycle anyway. So you don't have to wait for your opponent's turn to end. So you can activate the effect, target a monster, controller takes 200, negate that monster's effect. And then if either player takes effect damage, it's a trigger effect.
Yep.
So it would trigger in the graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
So you can activate it and trigger it and resolve it on your opponent's turn.
Yeah, to set a trap from your deck or your hand. But if you set it from your hand, you can be activated that turn.
Okay, and if you set it from the hand, it's activated that turn.
Correct.
Okay.
It's from the deck, you have to wait a turn.
Gotcha.
That's if you want to set something from your deck. If you want to set something from your hand to, like, protect it from Lightning Storm and Harpy's Feather Duster, that'd be the way to do it.
Yeah.
Particularly if you have a card, particularly if you have a card on the field, it's like if your opponent activates spell card, they take this much damage.
Yeah.
You know, they take the damage to activate Harpy's Feather Duster after it resolves. Boom.
All right. Next, we have some cards coming out from Valuable Book EX2, which is like, I don't know. I guess it's just a book that they're coming out with in Japan that's gonna have a couple cards in it.
It's gonna, yeah.
Yeah, so it releases, its Valuable Book EX2 releases March 18th, 2022, and it retails for 1,320 yen, so around $15.
Give or take.
First card we have is Chronicle Sorceress.
She's funny.
The soon-to-be lost art here in America, Dark Spellcaster Effect, because this is going to get censored.
Oh, hard censored.
Yeah. Level 4, 1,250 attack, 1,250 defense. Listen, Konami, I thought we agreed not to do 50s on attack and defense.
But hold on. Keep reading the effect, and 1,250 will make perfect sense.
Okay. You can only use this card's name, the effect of this card's name once per turn. What a weird way to say that. It's a hard once per turn. 1. You can activate one of these effects based on the attributes in your graveyard. 1. Light. Send one Blue Eyes White Dragon or one card that mentions it from your deck to your graveyard except Chronicle Sorceress. Dark. Send one Dark Magician or one card that mentions it from your deck to grave except Chronicle Sorceress.
What's 1,250 times 2?
2,500.
What's Dark Magician's attack?
2,500. That's not funny.
What's Blue Eyes' defense?
2,500, I guess.
It's a conspiracy! It's a conspiracy!
You look like a conspiracy.
The card overall is just kind of meh.
Yeah.
But it's cool. It's neat. Next card, which is actually not terrible, is Stardust Worm. Light Dragon, level 1, 0 attack and defense.
The only thing Chronicle Sorceress is missing is a way to special summon it for free from the hand, a la Incredible Ecclesia and Dogmatica Ecclesia.
Exactly.
If it could do that, it would be the best card for both the Blue Eyes and Dark Magician decks that they've released so far.
So Stardust Worm, you can only use this card's first and second effects once per turn each.
Worm, W-U-R-M, not Y-R-M. So this is a dragon type monster.
Yes, not a worm. It's weird, I know.
Well, it's worm, not worm.
Yeah. 1. If this card is in your hand or graveyard and you control a level 8 or higher dragon synchro monster, you can special summon this card but then banish it when it leaves the field. That's actually really good. 2. You can tribute this card. Special summon up to 2 level 1 light dragon monsters from your hand and or graveyard, except itself, but their effects cannot be activated.
Okay. Say it with me. Baby Stardust do 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 do. Baby Stardust do 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 do.
It looks like a baby Stardust dragon.
Baby Stardust do do.
But that's what a WRM worm is a baby dragon. Or a wormling, specifically.
Do do do.
Anyway. Anyway, so what's cool about this card though is that if you have a level, like let's say you have Stardust Xiaolong and a Majestic Dragon in your hand, you can special this guy, and you have Stardust on field, special this guy, tribute, boom, Majestic Star Dragon, let's go.
Right.
They're trying to make Majestic Star Dragon happen. I'm just like, Konami,
quit trying to make Majestic Star Dragon happen.
Stop trying to make Majestic Dragons happen. It's just not. It's terrible.
Okay, so let's talk about OTS Tournament Pack 18.
We have the full spoiler.
Yes, and with that, we also know pretty much which ones are going to be the supers and which one's going to be the commons. So we have the full spoiler as far as what is what, but because of the way they always list it on the actual website,
we can guess.
We pretty much know because there's 9 supers and the rest are commons. Yeah. And they always list the supers in order, starting with monsters, then extra deck monsters, then spells, traps.
Yeah.
And then same thing with the commons. They'll start with main deck monsters, then extra deck monsters, then spells, traps. And because of the way that it's structured,
it's got to be the lined up.
We know what it is.
Yeah.
And because it's always 9 and 13.
Yeah.
Plus we'll get a token, which we don't know what the token is. We won't know until people start opening it.
Exactly. I'm thinking it'll probably just be a Sword Soul token.
I'm thinking it will also. So, first, the ultis.
Yeah. You get the ultis, and I'll get the supers.
I would almost rather you do the ultis. I want to... Okay, I'll do the ultis. Okay, that's fine.
Well, let's just go back and forth.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so first we have Dogmatica Ecclesia the Virtuous in ulti. Oh my goodness, yes!
Next up, Divine Arsenal AA Zeus Sky Thunder in ulti.
Oh, woo-wee! God, yes. Dude, these are so sick. This is great ulti picks. The only thing that would have made this better is giving me Fractal. Oh.
Moving right along, then
we knew Fusion Destiny.
Yeah.
So next you have Destiny Hero Dasher as a super.
Much needed super.
Oh, dude, this is the perfect mid rarity for this card.
Baby Sarasaurus is a super. I think, I could be wrong, this might be the first holo printing of Baby Sarasaurus.
It is the first holo printing if you don't count the colored letter rares from...
That's fair.
I think it's from... Oh, gosh.
Well, I don't count rares as being foiled.
Yeah, it's really not.
Yeah.
But before that was the highest rarity. Yeah. So this is a great upgrade.
Yeah, and because Petite Pterodon, the other one they would run, already had an Ultra.
Right. So next we have Kagamucha Knight. This is kind of like because
it already had a really cheap secret.
Yeah, its secrets were like $3 or $4. So
still another copy of it, and it's probably gonna look really good.
Yeah.
Then we have Contact Sea Supers. Very nice.
Yeah, this is a great upgrade also because, well, I mean, it only had commons.
Yeah.
And the commons were like, what, $8, $9?
Yep. So this gives us a holographic printing and a reprint at the same time.
So, you do the next one. I want the one after.
That's fair. Token Collector. Very nice super. Before, I think the highest rating was what, a rare?
No, it had an ultra.
An ultra? Okay, never mind. I stand corrected.
But the ultras were pretty expensive.
Yeah. This gives you another option at a holographic printing.
Yeah, a good mid-tier rarity.
Now here comes the...
I'm so excited for this one.
Probably the best super.
Quaggar Hercules. Oh my goodness, yes. This was such a great and easy choice that they didn't do last time.
Because it was like, what, $60?
A damaged rare.
Yeah, $60.
No, the common was 60.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Something like that.
Okay, wait, it came in rare and super.
Yeah.
A super damaged rare was like 60 or even like 90.
Yeah.
A full-on near mint rare was like 150, almost 200, and the full-on super was like $800 or more. And I'm just gonna be honest, I don't actually think that that's crazy for a meta-relevant card that's only got one holographic printing from TP1.
Yeah, and
the
then
same set that introduced Mechanical Chaser.
yeah, and then like the next printing of it, the rare printing was
TP3.
Yeah,
And that was it.
that was because it was a terrible card that nobody bothered with. So it kind of makes like, why bother printing if no one's going to use them?
Exactly, which is fine. That's a good justification. But then it saw play as a Ready Fusion target for B-Trooper.
It's the only Ready Fusion target and Instant Fusion target.
It's not an Instant Fusion target because it's level 6.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's the only
Target,
period for insects.
Right. So it's the only decent one anyway.
Yeah, it's the only insect fusion as far as I know.
No. There's like a
The B-Troopers just recently got one,
Yeah, but like
it's too high level for Ready Fusion and Instant Fusion.
well, and it's got to be a vanilla
Yeah, which is another issue.
for Ready Fusion, not for Instant Fusion.
Yeah, for Instant Fusion, it's just level 5 or lower.
Yeah, but this is really it cannot be understated how great of a reprint this is.
Oh yeah. Next up, the next super, the Phantom Knights of Breaksword. Didn't really need a reprint, but I'm glad they gave it a super, because it just recently got a rare and I think maximum gold. Or Eldorado.
Yes, I want to say that's correct.
Yeah. It recently got a reprint, so... But still,
and by the way, Quagar's Hercules was actually the only insect fusion monster, period.
yeah, up
before
until the B-Trooper
the
fusion.
Ultra B-Trooper Absolute Hercules.
Yeah.
So you were correct. I was wrong on that one.
Yeah.
Next we have Insector Picofalena. This one's kind of a garbage one, I'm going to be honest.
To be fair, I think it only had a common printing.
No, it just got a super printing like a couple of weeks ago in Grand Creators.
Oh, okay. I didn't know it was in Grand Creators. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, it was in Grand Creators because of all the Insector stuff.
Okay, yeah, because of the new Insector card.
Yeah. Next, you got Monk of the Tenyi.
Great super reprint.
God, yes, dude. This only came... The highest rarity of this was rare before. This is an amazing reprint. Dude, I'm going to be stacking up on the supers from this set. I'm going to get literally as many copies of Dasher, Baby Sarasaurus, Contact C, Quagar Hercules, and Monk of the Tenyi as I can possibly get.
Because why not?
Oh, because they're all going to hold some value.
Oh yeah, for a long time after this set comes out of print. Okay, so now we're in the commons. Maju of the 10,000 Hands. This is another Maju reprint.
It probably for Libromancers.
Definitely for Libromancers.
Yeah.
Do you want to try and pronounce that, or do you want me to just try?
I'm going to say Tangnoster.
Actually, that you're from what I can tell, you're pretty close.
Tangnoster of the Nordic Beasts. Diverg of the Nordic Alfar.
Yeah. Phantom Knights, the Phantom Knights of Silent Boots. Cool.
Yep.
Destiny Hero Celestial.
Yep. Vampire Familiar, Vampire Retainer.
Incantation, Talismandra, Incantation, Pinkaplume.
Pensaplume.
Pensaplume, thank
like
you.
A pencil.
Oh, no, like a pentacle. So it's Pentacle Plume.
But it's Pensaplume.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Ghost Trick Angel of Mischief.
Golvig of the Nordic Ascendant.
Dark Magical Circle.
And Ghost Trick Break.
The commons are like...
Alright.
They're here.
A lot of them, though, are specific reprints targeted toward...
upcoming support. The Nordic Beast stuff is for, well, you know, the Nordic Beast support that's coming.
Well, Nordic in general. It's not just Nordic Beasts.
Yeah.
Nordics was a weird archetype where they had the Nordic umbrella, and then there were 3 sub-archetypes to the Nordic archetype of the Beast, the Alfar, and the Ascendants.
Yeah. Celestial makes sense. I mean, if you're going to reprint the rest of the DPE package, you may as well put Celestial in here.
Yeah, like the only part of the DPE package thing that didn't catch a reprint here was DPE itself.
Yeah, and Verte.
Verte. But Verte just got a reprint really not too long ago. And
I could use another one, though.
Oh, absolutely.
So Silent Boots also makes sense because of the prevalence of PK in the current format.
Yeah. I don't know why in particular with Silent Boots specifically.
Because it's like the best one in a 3 of.
I mean, because you only run 2 in a 3 of, and they didn't want to reprint a common of Torn Scale. So Boots would be the next best pick.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah,
or Bardiche would have been a good pick.
Not for a common, though.
Yeah, sure. Why not? It doesn't have a common.
Fair.
Boots, I think, already has a common.
Yeah. All of them except exactly Rusty Bardiche and Torn Scales all have commons.
Yeah. Vampires are, again, for the Dimension of Chaos support.
Yeah, vampire something. I forgot what he's called, but like the Milfor dude.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of vampire support in the same set that's getting the Nordic support.
Yeah.
The incantations are also probably for Libromancers because it's all ritual stuff.
Oh, 100%. It's generic ritual stuff.
Yeah. And then you have the Ghost Rick cards, which are there for the Ghost Rick support coming.
Yeah, it's just Link Monster, but it's all they need.
And the Trap.
And the Trap's nice.
Yeah. Dark Magical Circle, I guess it's because of the Dark Magician support that we just got, and they needed like one more card.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
But this is kind of a trash common. And then another Nordic card. So yeah, I mean, the commons are pretty trash. I'm not gonna lie to you.
But the ultis and the super picks for here were
great.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah, no, the ulti and super picks were spectacular.
Just absolute chef's kiss. Ooh, so nice.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so how about that new Archtype?
Well, before we get there, let's talk for a moment about our sponsor, ETB Games in Alexandria, Louisiana. So we, of course, want to take a moment to thank our sponsor, ETB Games. They are awesome. They do a great job running the shop. They do a great job supporting all of their communities. Yu-Gi-Oh!, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, Digimon. They do a great job supporting the communities. They are well represented at lots of tournaments all over Louisiana, Mississippi, things like that. And they're generally just awesome.
Oh yeah, no matter what your nerdy hobby is, whether it's Digimon trading card game, Dragon Ball Z trading card game, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, tabletop stuff,
video game stuff, whatever, you can find a community for it at ETB.
I was even able to purchase, because I was getting tired of using like coins and other random junk for my summons in my tabletop group back when we were able to do tabletop live in person. So I went ahead and bought the summon set from WizKids. It's great. It's gonna be great whenever I'm able to start, being able to play tabletop face to face again.
Yeah, so ETB Games is your one-stop shop for all of your nerdy needs. Be sure to check them out. The link is in the description down below. If you want any further information, be sure to hit us up. So, without further ado.
So real quick, first off, I went ahead and looked at the artwork for these cards.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
It is my Archtype. This Archtype is my baby. Just based off the artwork. Oh my god.
Yeah, this is weird. I'm just gonna say this is weird. It's
so the description
0 main deck monsters
on YGOrganization is, so you want to play a first-person dungeon crawler, first-person shooter, FPS. This is what this is. So I'll go first. Note, for usual sanity's sake, we'll use Rune, but Angel Statue, Azarune, and Rune Eyes Pendulum Dragon exist. So we need to compromise with the name. Since the theme is text, it can't just be the word Rune. For reasons of accessibility of searching and ease of understanding, Ruan, the Middle English version, and Rune, the Old Norse, were rejected. So Mysterune, since the kanji involved would normally sound like Shinpi, i.e. mystery. So
Mysterune.
Yeah, they're calling them Mysterunes, like mystery runes.
Okay, Mysterunes.
Yeah. So first card, you want to start with this, or do you want me to start with this?
I'll start with this. This card looks sick.
I know, right?
Okay, this card is called Spring of the Mysterune. It is a field spell card. I'm just going to say, okay, so this looks like literally a giant demon statue coming out of a fountain.
And then with the
two
water.
hands up, and then two hands, the water's flowing out of the two hands. It's so sick. You absolutely need to check these out if you haven't already.
I will put a link to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Organization in webpage for this in the description. It's great.
Yeah, so this is Spring of the Mysterune. It's a field spell. 1. You can activate Mysterune quick play spell cards from your hand during your opponent's turn.
Oh!
What?
But
That's so stupid.
However, it does limit itself that you can only activate the quick play Mysterunes. We don't know how much of the other rest of the cards in this archetype are all quick play yet.
Oh, there's a bunch.
There's a bunch.
2. Once per turn, if you activate a Mysterune quick play spell card, you can target up to 3 Mysterune quick play spells in your graveyard, place them on the bottom of the deck in any order, then draw that many cards? What?
As a field spell?
Yo, this field spell is sick.
Oh my god.
All right, let's go to the next one. What do we have going on, man?
Okay, so we have Deceit of the Mysterune. Continuous spell card. You can only control one copy of it. Each time a quick play spell card is activated, period, banish the top card of your opponent's deck.
Yo, this archetype's getting funny.
Not just your Mysterune spells, but also Forbidden Chalice, Cosmic Forbidden Droplet, Cosmic Cyclone, I almost said Dark Lord no more, but no, it's Called by the Grave.
Oh, that, by the way, this is not once per turn.
No, it is not. It's every single time it happens.
Yeah, so if you just are constantly activating quick play spells,
and then even if your opponent activates one in response,
yeah,
they banish top card of the deck. To be fair, it's not banished face down, it's banished face up, which does matter.
Yeah.
Because then I can pop off banish effects off of stuff like the Thunder Dragons, and I think some of the Sword Soul stuff gets effects off if they get banished.
Yes.
Yeah, so it'd pop their effects off, so you gotta be kind of careful with that.
Potentially.
Yeah.
But also, notably, you could tell what your opponent's playing.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's go to the next one. Point of the Mysterune.
So the artwork for this card is like first person in Skyrim with the sword and the spell in one hand.
Literally, yeah. So it's like in his left hand, he's got he's casting a spell, and then the right hand, it's a sword, but it's literally like you're in the eyes of the wielder. So
yeah.
It's like first person.
Yeah.
So, quick play spell card, Point of the Mysterune. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. 1. Activate one of these effects. Skip your next battle phase after this card resolves.
Okay.
Add one Mysterune card from your deck to your hand, except Point of the Mysterune, then banish the top card of your opponent's deck. Special summon one Mysterune monster from your extra deck in the extra monster zone. Yo!
Okay, so first off, if you activate that first effect, and you have the Deceit,
that's banish 2.
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
This deck seems like it could legitimately deck out your opponent without much effort.
It mentions an extra deck Mysterune monster, so I don't think we have a extra deck monster even. Yeah, we do. Okay, yeah,
there's a couple of them
near the bottom.
Just noted. I'm just gonna say this. There's no main deck monsters in this archetype.
Nope, not a single one.
Which is the first time I've ever seen that.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to just cheat them out.
Yeah.
Next one, Mysterune of the Brilliant Flame. So it's like the artwork of this is a first-person shooter. The guy's got a gun and he's firing at the at this angel-looking thing.
Yeah, like a boss monster.
Yeah. Quick play. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. 1. Activate one of these effects. Skip your next battle phase after this card resolves. 1. Target one opponent, special summon a monster, destroy it, then banish the top 2 cards of their deck. So 3 if you have the continuous spell. 2. Special summon a Mystery monster from your extra deck to the extra monster zone.
Wow.
So that's 3 banishes off of 1 card. Plus if you activate the other one, that's another 2. That's 5.
Wow.
So it's just banish mill. That's, oh my god.
This reminds me so much of Sky Striker.
Oh
Next
my god.
we have Rune of Destruction. Quick play spell. Who would have thunk? You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. 1. Activate one of these effects. Skip your next battle phase after this card resolves. Oh my goodness. Target one spell trap your opponent controls, destroy it, then banish the top 4 cards of their deck? What?
To be fair,
special summon one Mysterune monster from your extra deck.
To be fair with this, if you activate it and they chain that spell or trap, it doesn't resolve and banish the top 4.
What are you talking about? Yes, it does. It would still destroy it.
That is true.
Because those cards don't actually leave the field until the chain is fully resolved.
Fair. Next up, Mysterune of Dispel. Quick play. And it's him, and it's like the hand coming out, casting Dispel. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. Activate one of these effects. Skip your next battle phase. 1. If your opponent adds a card from their deck to their hand, except during the draw phase, discard a random card from their hand, and then banish the top 2 cards of their deck.
Jeez.
Or special summon a Mystery monster to your extra deck zone. Note, the kaiju used here is not the same phrase as the giant monsters. Don't be clever. Because it says Kaiju no Roon as the Japanese name.
Yeah.
They don't mean giant monster. Next up,
we have Mysterune of the Freezing Curse.
It's got a bow in this one.
Yeah. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. 1. Activate one of these effects. Skip your next battle phase after this card resolves. Target one effect monster your opponent controls. Negate its effects until the end of this turn, then banish the top 3 cards of their deck. Or special summon one Mystery monster from your extra deck in the extra monster zone.
That's pretty cool. Next, we have Mysterune of Slumber. and it has the guy, and it has the guy you're playing as, quote unquote, with a harp in one hand. He just played it to put this dragon to sleep, and then someone else is like pointing at the dragon. Don't know who that is. Quick play. You can activate one of these effects. Activate one of these effects. Skip your next battle phase. Target one face monster in the field. Apply this effect to it. Then banish the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck. Once applied, this turn, that monster cannot attack. Also, the next time it will be destroyed by battle or card effect, it is not. Or special summon Mysterune monster from your extra deck to the extra monster zone.
This archetype's so insane.
Oh, I love it. Okay, next card.
Next is Mysterune of the Golden Droplets. Quick play spell. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. Activate one of these effects and skip your next battle phase. Or activate one of these effects. Skip your next battle phase after this resolves. Your opponent draws one card. Then you banish the top 4 cards of their deck. Special summon one Mysterune monster from your extra deck in the extra monster zone. What the world?
Hold on, last spell card. Mysterune of the Raging Storm. I love it because it's the guy you're playing as with like a hammer, and it's causing the storm behind him.
This is so crazy. This archetype's insane.
Hold on, so same effect, all the same effects. So the 2 effects you can pick from are banish cards on top of your opponent's deck equal to the number of cards they control.
Jeez.
And then special summon blah blah blah.
You could realistically deck out your opponent.
Easily.
So easy.
Okay, now we're on to the extra deck monsters. Okay, and it's the other monsters that were like in the actual.
This is the
artwork.
actual reason that they limited Pot of Desires, was to save us from this.
Exactly. Because if you activate Pot of Desires pass, your opponent can just deck you out instantly.
This is crazy.
Just pop, 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 pop.
We have Mroon, Wings of the Mysterune. Level 3 Light Fairy Fusion Effect Monster. 0 attack, 2000 defense. Materials 2 Mysterune monsters, which
don't exist at the moment. They might change that later.
Yeah. If this card is special summoned from the extra deck, you can discard one card. Add one Mysterune continuous spell from your deck to your hand.
I was about to say that.
Wow, there it is.
About to say, one issue is that you can't search the continuous spell. Good thing I didn't say that.
2. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a Mysterune card you control and or a set card you control, quick effect, you can banish this card, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. Once per turn during each end phase, gain 1,000 life points. What is this?
Note, Moonin, mind or memory, is the name of one of Odin's ravens that flies through the 9 worlds, learning all there is so Odin knows all. Next up, Gary, Fangs of the Mysterune, level 4 Dark Beast Fusion. 0 attack, 1000 defense, materials, 2 Mysterune monsters. 1. If this special summon card from the extra deck, target one non-quick play Mysterune spell in your graveyard, add it back to your hand. So the field or the continuous spell.
Yes.
2. Cannot be destroyed by card effects. 3. When this card is destroyed by battle, you can target one card on the field, pop it. Gary, Greedy One or Ravenous One, is one of the 2 wolves that accompanies the Norse god Odin.
I
love this archetype!
This deck is going to be extremely high rarity and tier 1. This plus Eldritch is stupid.
I know! Just the infinite resource, just the infinite grind game of Eldritch, plus the constant banishing your stuff, so you can't even get a chance to recover.
This deck is going to be so tier 1. It's stupid.
Plus Munin can also protect all Munin also protects all your back row from you don't even need Lord of the Heavenly Prison anymore. Well, you probably still run Lord of the Heavenly Prison, but still. And the thing is like this would theoretically, if let's just say for the sake of argument, Pot of Greed was legal and you just went Pot of Greed, and refilled your hand after setting 5, you could set 4, activate the field spell, activate the continuous trap, and as long as you have continuous spell, then as long as you have an empty slot, you can just keep activating the quick plays from your hand, plus all the spells and traps you have set to the field already.
Here's the thing. You can literally activate one of them, summon the Munin, and as soon as you summon Munin, you can like set 3 or 4 and pass.
Yep.
Because as long as you can special summon Munin,
he protects your back row from most everything.
It's stupid.
Oh my god, I love it. But yeah, no, like this archetype's going to be secrets and ultra. Like, I imagine maybe there's going to be one super and then everything else is ultra and secret.
This archetype is literally insane.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, it does mention that there are Mysterune monsters. So
Where?
in the fusions, they specify that they're made up of 2 Mysterune monsters.
Yeah, but the fusions are Mysterune monsters.
That's fair, but we
don't have a fusion spell.
You can only put one on the field at a time.
Right.
So there's no way to actually make them.
Right.
Outside of special, yeah. So I'm thinking that they might later add this might be like either the first wave of support or like the first wave of them revealing it. There might reveal later some main deck monsters.
All I know is this archetype is certifiably, without a doubt,
Tier 1.
Insane. There's no way that this deck is not immediately Tier 1.
Keep in mind, Munin does not protect from Harpy's Feather Duster or Lightning Storm.
Yeah.
It has to target, but it does protect you from Twin Twister, Cosmic Cyclone,
realistically, Conquistador of the Golden Land.
Yeah, Conch. Trying to think of what else actually targets.
Yeah, well,
not much actually targets, but it does protect you from Cosmic Cyclone and Twin Twister, which are going to be your 2 major bad that you'll encounter.
So what's really interesting about this is what it's going to do to the metagame, first in the OCG and then to here. This deck is going to make an immediate impact.
Sonny, that's the real reason why they banned IO.
Honestly, maybe.
Because Archetype has no traps, and it seems to be entirely reliant on its quick play spells. It is an entire quick play spell archetype, kind of like how the Forbidden archetype is Forbidden Chalice, Forbidden Lance, all quick plays. This is also all quick play.
Yeah, no, this is
the reason
literally insane.
This is the real reason why they banned IO. Because IO's very existence invalidates the deck entirely.
Literally, yes.
So, not the deck, but the archetype. So, yeah, now we know why. Now we know the real reason why they banned IO. Not because Konami was being nice.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to push this new archetype.
Well, we had another segment planned for today's episode, but we're like almost at time, so
we don't have enough time to really give we really don't have enough time left in this episode to really give the discussion
in depth like it deserves.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can't get the depth that it deserves. So we're just gonna pass on it. We're gonna leave you in suspense.
Yeah, we'll talk about it next episode.
Yeah. So with that said, let's go ahead and get on into the podcast question of the day.
Woo woo!
So our last podcast question of the day was... I'm pulling it up. I had it pulled up, but then I clicked on other stuff.
Oh no.
What cards are you looking to pick up from Battles of Chaos? So we had a lot of different replies to this, as per usual. We, of course, had... So people saying Dinomorphia, for sure. The Ritual Dogmatica, Ghost Strix support, New Nordic support, some Ice Jade, some Ghost Strix, some Vampire stuff, the Blue Eyes Jet Dragon, Illusion of Chaos, the Mutant card, the new Flunder spell, Illusion of Chaos, Master of Chaos, Sales Band, that's an interesting one, Soul and Luna, Dinomorphia, the new Inzektor Tuner card, Dragon Bite, that's a good one. The Dinorufias, the Box of Friends support, the new Ghost Trick cards, also a good choice in my opinion. Then from the server, we got the new Sword Soul Synchro. We got a list here including some cards that are cool like Guardian Chimera, Dark Dimension Soldier, Anibimaru, Soul Sweeper, the new Dark Charmer Gloomy, the Great Double Casted Caster, some things like that. So a lot of really cool and interesting cards that are really to be picked up out of Battles of Chaos. Personally, I'm mostly looking for the Dark Charmer. I think that it's going to have the most impact out of this entire set, to be honest with you.
Oh, easily. I mean, just a generic Link 2 that the only requirement needed is that you have to have a Dark Monster. And then you can steal one of your opponent's Dark Monsters.
Something like, oh, I don't know, BPE?
Yeah, oh, yeah, no. And again, the only requirement is that you're able to put out at least one Dark Monster of your own, plus anything else.
How funny would it be to destroy your opponent's Verte
And
then
steal it,
activate
Verte.
activate?
Mhm.
That would be funny.
You can absolutely do that. But I think you'd be better off just if they pop their own DPE to punish them by stealing their DPE.
Yes, but if they have the DPE on field, you could do this.
Yeah, exactly. You can just steal their Verte, make your own DPE, and pop their DPE.
Yeah.
And then you just end up in a DPE pop DPE war.
Right. So let's go ahead and give you today's podcast question today, which is, what cards would you like to see get an OTS ulti? Now that we've seen the new OTS 18 set, what cards would you like to see get it? Personally, I think there's some really great picks out there. Like I said earlier, a Tri-Brigade Fractal would be nice. But other than Fractal, obviously everybody wants to see Ash Blossom. That's a popular pick.
Mm-hmm.
Anything for you in particular, Caleb?
Ghost Bell.
Oh yeah, Ghost Bell would be another popular pick for sure.
I just really like Ghost Bell.
Yeah. Understandable.
But also, I forgot the name of the. I've said this card's name so many times, and now that I'm trying to say it again,
Description.
Ghost Ogre. I remember
Already has one.
I want another one. Another one.
Another OTS ulti print.
Another one.
Another one.
Another one.
Another one.
But like in all seriousness, I would like to see all the Ghost Girls eventually get their own OTS ulti.
I think that Ultimate Conductor Tyranno would be a good choice.
Ooh, it would be beautiful.
Yeah.
Ultimate Conductor Tyranno would be nice.
I'm trying to think of like decks that have like boss monsters and stuff. Eldritch would be a really cool one.
Golden Lord would be an amazing one. Rusty or Bardi should be cool, but it's
Shureg.
Yeah, Shureg would be really nice.
The only thing I worry about with Shureg is that it's got too many dark tones to it.
Yeah, it would be washed out completely, I think, as ulti, which is why I think Fractal or Ferjit would be much better because it's a lot brighter colors.
Yeah, it's really more vibrant colors.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But like really you want the brighter color cards to become ultis. But like I said, the Ghost Girls all are fairly bright cards. All make good ultis.
Virtual World Shen Shen.
Ooh, yeah. Or
Torrential Tribute, Daddy, please. Please, Daddy Konami, give me an ulti Torrential Tribute.
Virtual World Lulu would also be really cool.
Lulu would be a very nice one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because those pinks.
Oh, yeah. Well, that'll wrap us up for today's episode of the podcast. Like I said, if you haven't already, be sure to follow us on Twitter at Top Cut Podcast. Be sure to like us on whatever platform you're on. If you're on Spotify, give us a follow. I mean, it's free. It's easy. All it does is let you know when we post. And even then, you can follow us and then turn notifications off, although we would prefer if you left them on, because we do post every Tuesday and Friday. Then we've also got, be sure to join our Discord, check out our Patreon. If you are shopping on TCG Player, click the affiliate link down below. It costs you nothing extra to support the podcast for the cards you'd already be buying. So be sure to check all of that out. And without further ado, thank you all for listening to today's episode of the podcast.
Take care, everybody.